Hi and welcome to this new video. Today we will review Stella Converter for OST. But before we start reviewing, let me just explain what's an OST and what's an PST file. An OST stands for Offline Storage Table. It's a file that Outlook creates to store a local copy of your mailbox when you are using Microsoft Exchange. It allows you to work offline and syncs with mail server when you are online again. And PST stands for Personal Storage Table. It's a file format Outlook uses when you manually export emails and create local backup archives. PST files are portable. You can import them into another Outlook easily. OST files, on the other hand, are tied to Outlook profile and can't be opened or imported directly without the original file. Let me go to the local directory of my Outlook to show you the OST files. As you can see on my screen, we are now in the local directory of my Microsoft Outlook. And here I have two OST files, which means I have two accounts. I grayed out the accounts due to security reasons. You can also check your own Microsoft Outlook folder to see your OST files. In general, if we want to export the OST files, we need to use the classic Outlook. And here inside the classic Outlook, we need to go to File, and then we need to go to Open and Export. And here under Open and Export, we need to go to Import and Export. And here we have here kind of description of each option. And here import data from other files such as Outlook, data files, PSTs. Or we can go to export. And here we can go to next. And after going to next, we can choose .pst. And next, it's going to export the file. Or we can choose a folder or the calendar or the contacts just to export. This is the normal scenario for importing and exporting your Outlook OST file. There are other scenarios where the Stella converter for OST is better option or is the best option. And here Stella they listed the top scenarios for using OST to PST converter. So when do we need it? Well, let me summarize it in a better way. If you still have access to the Outlook account, you can just export your data as a PST. Simple. But in many real world cases like corrupted profiles, missing accounts, or Exchange server issues, Outlook won't help. That's where tools like Stella Converter for OST really shine. They give you access to your data even when Outlook can't. And here you can read these informations. These are what I've just said, the top scenarios for using OST to PST converter. And here at the bottom, there is kind of documentation how to use it, which I find really helpful. Let's get to the top and download the OST to PST converter tool. And here, as you can see, I have downloaded it already. Stella converter for PST. And after clicking on it, we will have this pop-up window asking us if we want to allow this app to make changes to our device. Yes, you can just go through the default options here. It's not that complex. I'm not gonna continue because I have already installed it. And now let me open the Stella converter for OST. And here we have the home page or the home tab. And here we have a few options. So you can start with saving a scan, load a scan, and you can even search for a message. But to use this option, save converted file, you need to buy the tool. I've already bought Stella Converter for OST, so I can convert the file. Let me now try. It's saying that Outlook is already running. Please close MS Outlook and restart process. Let me now close my Outlook and let me then try to run the process again. And here, after clicking on it, we have a few options. We have PST, MSG, EML, RIMF, HTML, PDF. Well, the standard for Outlook Classic is PST. But if you are using the new Outlook, you can export them to EML because the new Outlook can just import EML files. So this is also missing on their homepage because I think this is new. I've even checked Microsoft documentation. They said there that if you want to import PST files, you need to go back to Classic Outlook, which I found really creepy. So you brought a new app and now you pushed me to use the app, and now you are saying I need to go back to the Classic Outlook to import the BST. And here inside Stella Converter for OST, I can export the EML files and then I can import them in the new Outlook, which is really a nice shortcut from Stella Converter for OST. We can click on next. Then we have these options: recover deleted items, auto split PST files, and both have here kind more information if you want to know what's this option. And after clicking on it, we will go to the documentation, and it's really very well documented. And here we can read about all the options. For example, here note recovery deleted items checkbox is selected by default, uncheck if not required. And auto split PST files checkbox is selected by default, and check if you don't want to split converted files. Now let's press on OK, and this is the process. It depends on how many emails you have. So in my case, it saved the file. The only thing that I found a bit annoying is that I can't press on this link and I can't even copy the link or the path to the PST file. And we can press on OK, and even the link here is not clickable and we can't even copy it. There is another option. You can press on select Outlook data file, and then here you can copy this. Here at the top you can copy the path to the folder. I'm gonna gray out my email address because I don't want it to be in the video. So let me just select it, the slash, and then copy. And let me now go to the folder, and voila, that's it. We are inside the local Microsoft Outlook directory, and here you can see we have our PST file. We can go back to Outlook and open Outlook. As I said, we can import PSTs just in the classic Outlook. We can do it in the new Outlook. In the new Outlook, we need to save as EML, and then we can import it here. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna import in the classic Outlook first, and then I'm gonna go to the new Outlook. And here we can go to File, Import and Export, and Import. Then here import from another program or file. Next. PST. Next. Now we need to browse to find the file, and here we need the path that we have just copied. And here we have the file. We can just select it and then press on open. And we need to press on next. And here you have some options: import items into the current folder, import items into the same folder. I'm not gonna do the import because I have the emails. I don't want to move to another account. Now let's go and try to import in the new Outlook. And here in the new Outlook, we need to go to settings, and then we need to go to general and to import and start import. And here, as you can see, we need to choose a folder. But before we start the import or start the window, you can see here you can import .eml files to your mailbox by selecting a folder. And after pressing on start import, you will have here browse. You need to search for the file and then choose the folder. And at the end, press on import. Let's go back to Stella Converter for OST. Here we have also other files, like here we can select an Outlook file or save a converted file, and we can also exit. Then we have view. Here we can switch the reading pane. You can see here left and right or top bottom. Then we can read the log report. Here we have the update, and here we can see the calendar, and here the activation. So if you have an activation key, here you can activate the program. Here help and buy. And I have to say that they have a really very good support options in case you have an issue with the Stella converter for OST. You can press on support, and then you will have really a lot of options like raise a ticket, activation assistant, manage account, and here download and install, software upgrade, request refund, and you can even call them. They have even an online here chat. You can directly write them. My highlight was that the Stella converter for OST can import your emails into the new Outlook using the save as.eml. And I don't know why it's not highlighted on their page, because this is a very good feature, since a lot of people are switching to the new Outlook and the .pst option is not there. If you need more information about the future releases of Microsoft Outlook, you can check the Microsoft 365 roadmap page. There are a lot of updates planned this year, including support for .pst files in the new Outlook. I'll put the link in the description if you'd like to check it out. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to download the app, the link in the description. If you have any question, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.